Zlatan said you're building a new stadium. Is that confirmed?
Yes.
It is happening.
Yes.
Because, you know, I do follow the Italian press, as any good Italian does, and so there's a lot of back and forth. If you listen to Mayor Sala, one day it seems like he's trying to get you back. So you can confirm here that, like, the new stadium will happen.
Yes.
Well, that's some news for our friends
Look,
back home.
we made more progress in 18 months than I think has ever been made in terms of a new stadium in Italy. This will be the first stadium built in Italy since 2011.
Is that the Juventus?
That was Juventus Stadium. That was 40,000 seats. This will be a 70,000 seat stadium. We're going to try to bring an American stadium and a live event entertainment campus to Milan. Of all the cities in Europe, you would think that, you know, my premise of a merger partnership between sports and music and the live event for the fans, you would think that Milan would be the perfect place for that, and that's what we're going to endeavor to do. And that should be not only good for Milan, that should be good for Italy and Serie A. And so, you know, I'm going to create a company that's going to build this stadium. And then, frankly, I want to take that company and have it go build stadiums for all the other teams in Serie A. Because, you know, there's on one element, I wear my AC Milan hat, and we want to win the Scudetto. On the other hand, I want to help Serie A narrow this gap that you're talking about.
That's part of your whole value proposition.
100%.
So you don't want to create a situation like we had a few years ago where Juventus was basically winning back-to-back.
What's that going to do? I mean, you think that's going to increase the value? If AC Milan won every year, yes, I want it to win every year. But it's the fact that it's impossible. It's never happened. It won't win every year, but we're going to do everything we can to win every year. And it's that endeavor that makes it valuable. And it's that competitive element that makes it valuable. If it's the same 3 or 4 teams every year that wins everything, that's just, I personally think that, you know, long term, when you step back and look at the health of the ecosystem and you look at valuations, they're just going to be less valuable. People, by the way, the other thing about European football that I firmly embraced when I came into it, it is a public-private partnership. You own this with the fans. Frankly, the fans think they own it, and I'm just sort of passing through, which puts a big onus on me because I take that seriously, and I want to do right by them. I want to be the guy that took the baton and added value to their asset. It's their asset, right? And I can bring a lot to it. I've been doing this for 30 years. But, you know, we have to be more self-sufficient. We have to be able to run these things more professionally. And the fundamental thing in European football that I'm concerned about is people think that you just need to outspend the next guy. And I would submit to people that that is not, I don't care how much money you have, whether you're a government or you know, an institution, deficit spending and spending, you know, unlimited amounts of money is never going to be the right thing. It's never going to be sustainable. You got to spend better, and that's what we're trying to do.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Zlatan, won't you miss San Siro? Like, you've scored many goals there. It's kind of, there's a lot of emotions. But do you still think it's like kind of for the better of the club, as, you know, putting your businessman hat rather than?
I think San Siro will miss more me than I will miss San Siro. So. I made San Siro bounce. Not many players made it bounce, so that was my ego. So, no, I mean, I have great memories from San Siro.
When you said before that you were humble, I kind of forgot about that.
That was the player, not that. No, but I think, I mean, with San Siro, I have great memories. I mean, it's a historical stadium. It's an antique place, and a lot of history was made in that stadium. But everything has a new beginning. And I think that when it comes to the fans, I mean, you have modern technique, you have modern things to do, way of doing things, and with the new stadium, you have possibilities to do something that is amazing. And then Milan is not the owner of San Siro. You want to have your own stadium. You want to run it the way you want it. So great memories, but there is always a new beginning for everything. So for me, the new stadium will be massive, and especially for the fans and the players when it will be done and whoever will play in that stadium. So business-wise, it's a massive gain. And when it comes to San Siro...
Is it fair to say, you did try to find a compromise, but this kind of shows a bit how hard it is to do business in Italy in many ways. It's kind of, there's a lot of red tape and...
Look, yeah, but you know, when we bought AC Milan, I had a lot of owners in America sports team owners in America call me and say, you know, have you lost your mind? You know, you can't do business in Italy. And I said, well, I don't believe that. I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. I said, of course you can do business in Italy. You just got to do things differently. And, you know, there's resistance there, but there's resistance everywhere to changing the paradigm and shaking things up. I'm trying to do it responsibly. It's not about the stadium. I love San Siro. I think it's a privilege to play in that stadium with the history that it has. The question is not about the stadium. The question is, can we win better long term if we have a new stadium? It is a tool in the overall, you know, toolbox for improving the way we do things at AC Milan. And the answer categorically is yes. And we have a lot of experience around stadiums, building stadiums. You know, it's part of the experience that I bring from America, and I think we can add value to Serie A by leading with this example.